gonna do, Al?
Well, my name is Talitha, but I go by Taliwhoah. I am a singer-songwriter and visionary, creative, human being, part alien.
You would say music is your passion, your love.
Definitely.
How did you discover that?
Well, I've always been around music. I come from a very musically inclined family. Both parents are musicians. I was always able to express myself musically. I think I was dancing before I could even walk, really. And I know pretty much every baby kind of like, you know, can bop to music, but I was really like moving like routines from months old. I didn't really know I could sing until maybe about 12, 13. I think the huge turning point for me was when my grandfather passed away. I was extremely close to my grandfather, who was my mum's dad. And I remember the night he died, trying to comfort my mum, and I didn't know how other than to write a song for her. And so I went into my room and I picked up the keyboard and I wrote this song called You Are My Angel, and I sang it to my mum. And like I already knew she was emotional, but the tears that she was crying was kind of like not really tears of sadness anymore. Like it was like kind of like a realization that maybe her daughter has a, you know, this really strong gift, and also like realizing that I'm more expressive through music than anything else. I could see that the words I was singing to her just really connected with her, and ever since that day I knew I can touch people through my music. And that's when it really kind of clicked for me that even if I didn't do it for a career, this is what I needed in my life. Like I needed music. I'm not always very expressive through my words. I don't really talk about feelings much. It makes me feel less vulnerable to sing a song about what I've gone through than to talk about it sometimes.
So let's talk about the struggle with doing what you love to do.
Because it's a struggle, bro. I was the kind of person that was comforted by a paycheck. I started working at the age of 15, 14. I had bought my first car with my own money by the time I was 16. When I took the leap of faith, I'm gonna say, and really decided to commit to putting myself in more situations to be able to make more music, I just realized it wasn't as glamorous as I've seen other people portray it to be. Like, I think I maybe thought that because, you know, I watched my mum live somewhat of a glamorous side of the music industry, not realizing that she had been in the industry for 15 years prior to, and probably went through her struggles. I kind of thought that, oh, I can just hop in there and, you know, kind of do the same thing that she's doing. But I got a rude awakening when I went to LA. Yeah. I ended up being homeless for about 3 months while I was in school, while I was working, due to just being young and impulsive and not really planning out properly, and ended up in some situations. You know, once I kind of got back on my feet and was even in a position where I was working an okay paying job, I had to work so much that it took me away from the music. I had to really reevaluate, like, if I cared enough about the music, you know, to make it that I'm always doing it, and sacrifice the things that I literally needed in order to survive on a daily basis. And then on top of that, when I did start making, you know, a few little ripples in the huge pond of LA and started connecting with certain people, being a female, you're forced to prove yourself and how serious you are, and then you're also made to feel like if you don't do certain things, you're not gonna make it.
What kind of thing?
A few incidents where guys would sell me a dream. Oh, I can get you in with this person, I can get you in with this person, but you know, you're so cute, you know, if you were my girl, you know, I could, you know, those kind of things. And it's like, I should never have to objectify myself in order to do something that I love. I should never have to feel like I have to give myself to somebody in order for them to help me if they really feel like I'm talented. You know, I'll be in the studio with guys, and guys have like come onto me so strong that I've had to physically move, like get them off of me, you know, and I've had to almost like size myself up to men so that next time that when they challenge me, they know that I'm not gonna stand for no bullshit. Like, I'm not gonna let you just try and walk all over me.
Right now, how are you getting by? Are you making progress?
I'm making a lot of progress, I believe. My situations are a lot better just for the simple fact that my work ethic speaks for itself now. I think a lot of people in the industry so far that are kind of on the come up or have very respectable reputations elsewhere can vouch for me and say, no, I've worked with this girl and she's actually about her business. Like, she's not just an airhead or a girl that's like out here trying to get into the music industry to be relevant. Like, this is really in me, this is in my soul. And right now, I'm broke as hell. I don't have a job. I came back to London and left my job and my apartment, chasing a dream. But I'm the happiest I've ever been. This is the most fulfilled I've ever felt in my life. I've been able to put in 2 months work into a project, and there's people that have listened to it, and there's people that hit me up and say, yo, I really like your track, or yo, I can really relate to Nam, or there's a girl out there that's listened to something that I'm talking about and is like, yo, this song is comforting right now because this is exactly how I feel.
Why do you keep going? I mean, it would have been, surely it might have been easier to give up and just
Definitely.
kind of get that guaranteed money.
The job that I was just working was one of the best jobs I've ever had. It was with a small company. We were selling designer shoes. My income was $15 an hour, 9.5% commission. I was living comfortably, but I just knew I was selling myself short. I just didn't feel like I was serving my purpose. Like, I didn't feel that selling shoes and providing the customer service was all that I was put here to do. Even though I work for myself, I always envision that me working for myself in turn will help other people and the people that I care about and create opportunities for those people. And I don't feel like I was doing myself justice by boxing myself in here or allowing myself to get comfortable and complacent.
You're kind of choosing what to put out there.
Exactly.
So how do you feel people perceive you online, especially with like Instagram?
It's very strategic. Let's not like water it down here. I know I'm putting out there because I'm putting it out there for a certain reason, because I know it's going to get people's attention. But it's still very much so a real sense of myself. I'm not portraying myself to have all this money. I'm literally showing you what I'm doing. I'm just tailoring how I show you what I'm doing. And so I've had people tell me that they thought that I was like stuck up. Not because they've had a run-in with me or they've heard somebody else say, oh yeah, I've met Tali and she's this way. But simply because I portray a lifestyle that I guess some people think is like out there. I just like to have fun, and nowadays that's portrayed as being ratchet when you can just be free in a sense. So I claim that in a very like light sense. Like, I'm not really ratchet, but I know that that's what they want to see from me, and that's what they already believe about me. But I like that because in a sense, when people do get a chance to sit down and talk to me and we can actually talk about something like and have a real deep conversation, I get a chance to really show them that you can't always judge a book by its cover. There's a lot more depth to me than people will be able to see just based off of Instagram alone. Like, we kind of hold on to the internet to like portray this truth, and it's like, okay, yeah, we can use it for that, but no matter what, it's still only one side of a person that you're seeing on an online platform because they're controlling what you see. It's like the media, like the news, we don't know all the time the full story, but we only know what they tell us. So if you really want to get to know me, like, get to know me. If you really want to know what's going on in the world, get out there and like ask questions. Go to these places that you're like prejudging. Go and talk to these people that you're prejudging. You do attract a certain attention when you put certain things out, and I do know that certain pictures that I post or certain things that I put out are going to attract a certain attention, but it's how I deal with the attention when it then comes. I can't tell that guy not to like make a pass at me because I have a picture with I'm what maybe more cleavage out than usual.
The subject matter of your music, what inspires it? Like, what do you look at when you sit down to write?
My best music is always written when I'm either hurt, happy, or under the influence. And that's just being real. Like, I don't like to box in what triggers a song. So sometimes, you know, it could just be a song about nothing. Like I have Dandelion. Like Dandelion was a day that I decided I just didn't want to deal with anybody today. Like, so I wrote a song about that.
What do you think differentiates your music, the kind of the artistic style of it, or anything about it? What?
From a young age, I got to travel. I've heard all different types of music. I've been able to relate to people of all different types of cultures. So you're gonna get those elements in my music. You won't hear like a EP from me or a project from me with all the tracks sounding the same, or they all run into one another. And like you do have those kind of EPs that you want to listen to where it flows like that. But I think that's what sets my music aside, is that each song is a different experience and it's a different side of me. And the reggae influence in my life has put like just different music elements in my music. Like I'm big on harmonies, I'm big on highlighting instruments in music. I'm big on using my voice as an instrument also in my music, not necessarily just being a singer, but I mean like literally taking my voice and like sampling my voice to, like my producer, he's amazing. Like we kind of have this way that we work where sometimes I'll sing something like, and it will just be like an a cappella, and he will literally take pieces of my vocals and turn them into like a beat. Like he's made a beat from my vocals, and it's just like, it's kind of cool to me to hear that, because now my voice it's not just me singing, it's now I'm a part of like the actual production side of it, you know?
What would you say to the people that say, well, it's just a dream, that you can't, not everyone's gonna make it, so you might as well
I would tell them that there's power in their words. From the time that you proclaim that, your mind has processed that, and you've already cut yourself short. A child's confidence starts from their home. It makes me sad that not everybody was blessed with parents like mine that encouraged them to go out and, you know, chase their dream. And I would say to those that don't have that, you know, those figures in their life, I would say it hurts sometimes to know that people that you love can't see your vision, but sometimes people are just not supposed to see your vision because they don't share your dream, they don't share your passion. And as much as we might love these people, you can never share a big dream with a small-minded person. I don't care if that is your mom, your dad, your sister, your cousin. It's sad that, you know, misery does love company, but happiness loves company too. So, you know, you just have to go out and get in where you fit in. Like, there's no reason why you can't. It's easy to get on the conveyor belt of life and fall into line and do what people tell you to do and do what's going to keep you surviving. You know, like, it doesn't always have to be that way. I didn't have that cut and paste way of life. It might have been the wrong way for somebody else, but it was the right way for me. I just want to encourage people to, like, at least try your dream before you completely give up on it. You know, if it didn't work, then yeah, on to the next. But I'm not a role model in the sense like, oh, I'm living the perfect life, but I just want to inspire people. Like, that's really what I want to do.
Lately I don't smile like before, and everything seems so mediocre. These days always last so long, and I hate them all even when they're over. So I get lifted, real non-existent, create my own world and get so lost in